Hello, this is Coach Colleen with Teen-tastic Families, and today we are talking about letting your teens or not letting them sleep in. This, as a parent, I think was my biggest failure. I let my teens sleep in. As a teenager, my dad, like I have said before, my mom passed away. My dad remarried when I was 13. And my stepmom never let us sleep in past 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I always thought that was a little early, especially because like there was no chores or anything to do necessarily first thing, but we were made to get up at 8 in the morning. And I thought I'm gonna let my kids sleep in. Bad idea, bad idea. Let your kids sleep in till 9. Okay, fine, but not later than 9. Seriously, unless they have its exception and they've had a busy night the night before, or there's certain situations that can be allowed as an exception, but no, do not let them sleep in. And part of that is too, as a parent, I'm an introvert. So I do like quiet times. And of course, when the kids are really little, they get up at 5 in the morning, then they get to sleep until 6, and then you're, dancing to a tune when they sleep until 7, right? So we're used to getting up early. And so it's so glorious when they actually start sleeping in that you're thinking, oh, I get to have my coffee in peace, and that can carry on. And it's not a good idea. So what's the rule, parents? Don't let your kids sleep in past 9 o'clock. Don't fall into the trap I did. As they like ages 9 and 10, they're still getting up, on Saturday, I think around 8 o'clock. And so that's fine. Let them sleep till whenever. But even as they're 10, 11, 12, preteens, don't let them get in the habit of sleeping past 9 o'clock. Just say, this is the rule in our house. And if you start with that right from get-go, it will be a whole lot easier than trying to instill it later on, because that's almost impossible. And so sleeping in it's a bad habit. It's more than a bad habit, but let's start there. So, like the teens are saying, well, why do I have to get up for? There's nothing going, I don't have to do anything first thing in the morning. And this can be your choice as to how you want to say it. If you start early enough, like I said, you can just say this is the way it is in our house. And I did not feel like I had a valid enough reason to say, well, you need to get up because. And so I let them sleep in because I didn't think I had a valid enough reason. I wish I had all the answers to this problem, and I don't. Again, every family is different. Every parent is different. So you're going to have to find something that works for you. But if you let them sleep in, then they're gonna have a hard time getting to school on time. If they have a job, they're gonna have a hard time waking up for the job. I have heard families that even have missed their flights because they couldn't get their teen out of bed. And so you don't want to let it get that far. If you're already there, you're going to have to take more extreme measures, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, it's best just to start from ages 9 and 10 when they start to sleep in past 8 o'clock. Let them know earlier, while they're still getting up at 8, let them know 9 o'clock, you can't sleep past 9. That's the rule in our house. So it's also a way to instill and prevent laziness. You get up in the morning, this is it is, we're going to get ready for the day. And that way you're ready to go. If the family decides to do something, go somewhere. And it just prevents laziness in general. Sometimes with girls, as they get to be teenagers, they have low iron and you can experience some health issues where they need more sleep, but they can go to bed earlier. You need to stick to your guns. 9 o'clock. If they need more sleep, then they can go to bed earlier. It's a vicious cycle. If they sleep in, then they don't want to go to bed early because they're not tired, right? So don't let them sleep in. Just keep it forcing, go to bed earlier then. All right. So it's best to keep your teens busy is the other half of this. If they have to get up on Saturdays for sports, Sundays, I'm talking usually to church people, so they're usually up and going to church. But Saturdays and Sundays, yeah, don't sleep in past 9 o'clock. But keep your teen busy with sports, music, volunteering. Let's face it, sports and music can be very expensive and not everyone can afford that. But you can get them involved in volunteering, or just even involved in their church and get them involved in different things. Right now, as I'm videotaping this, it's getting close to Christmas and there's a lot of extra Christmas things that can be involved in. I've mentioned volunteering in some of my other videos where you can go serve a meal. And of course, at Christmas time, there's a lot of homeless shelters or just, where places where they serve food, get involved in something in your area and volunteer with your team. It's good for everybody. But sometimes we're just too busy, and especially at Christmas, let's face it, we're all busy. But being involved in church, there's a lot of volunteering opportunities there. Also, church can offer music team that is youth play instruments, they sing and they lead songs and they have their own band sometimes. And so if your teen is musical, that is an option for them to get involved in something like that, and it doesn't cost anything. Or if you don't know of anything, start something in your basement. Right? If you are musical, if your kids are even slightly musical, it's amazing that once they spread the word, you might have different musicians come to your house and you get something going. I always love to entertain my teens in my house because I know what they're doing, I know where they are, and it's safe. Right. And so just put out a couple bowls of chips and you don't have to go fancy as far as snackage goes for them. And just keep it simple and let them get together. All right, so what do we do to actually get our teens out of bed? Well, I tried throwing water on my daughter. It did not go well, but maybe I should have kept doing it. And if she knew I was coming with that ice cream pail of water, it wasn't just a little cup. It was an ice cream pail. Of course, it didn't fall all the way full, but I've pulled blankets off, told the kids 2 alarms, because at some point they get distressed themselves, because especially if they have a job and they care that they have a job and want to keep the job, they're frustrated even at themselves for not being able to wake up. So they're setting 2 alarms. You could do, I know there was a family that the dad went through saying a morning jingle, that it was really annoying to everyone in the house, but wake up, ding, 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 just go through until everybody's opening the doors or, responding or, and he would just keep at it. So you can be annoying. That is one way to do it. Have a bullhorn, or a megaphone, that you can say, get up, it's morning, everyone, or a whistle, keep whistling, like a blowing whistle, until everybody is awake. Of course, it's annoying to those who are already awake, but I'm giving you some options here. My husband's a carpenter. And so he had actually worked in a shop where there was this deaf guy. He must have been in his late 20s or something. His dad owned the company. And so he was working there. And the conversation had gone as to how, this deaf man, Eddie, would get up in the morning, because how do you have an alarm if he's deaf? And so there was a contraption that, they put under his bed that would vibrate the bed. And they had been talking about how they had tried to increase the vibrations because he wasn't getting up either. And so it's universal, this problem of trying to get up. But my husband and I, we had often were the ones talked about, is there some way that, when the alarm goes off, that the bed, that you slowly, increases where the kid just, slides right off the bed onto the floor, and that made us, sigh with relief and, have some fun with that. Also, too, we had thought, well, maybe when the alarm went off, you get a spring loaded and, fling the kid off the bed. Then, of course, you have the visions of the kids slamming against the wall and just sliding down the wall, as the cartoons you would portray very well. And of course, we had a good chuckle over that, with the visions of not getting seriously hurt, but I just, flinging them out of bed. So as parents, we have a universal problem. Some families don't seem to have a problem, but their kids are usually involved in sports. In fact, they're the ones saying, "Okay, mom, we have to be at the swimming pool at 5 in the morning," and poor parents. My kids were never involved in swimming or anything really early like that, and there just weren't enough chores around the house to make them get up for those reasons. And so we all have to be creative, I guess is the word I'm looking for, as to what works for you, what works in your home. But something has to be done, because it can really affect the teens as they get to be adults, even how to make themselves get up in the morning. And my kids have succeeded in that. They're often have jobs now at 5 in the morning. My kids are close to 30, right? So I wish I would have done this better. And that is why I'm doing this video. There is not just an easy solution. It is it's different for everyone, but that's it for this video. If you are interested in finding out more, or just having someone walk through the different hard stages of being a parent of a teenager, I do have 2 90-day coaching programs that you can sign up for. Just email me at teentasticfamilies@gmail.com. That's teentastic, TEEN tastic, TASTIC, families@gmail.com. Let me know you're interested in one of the 90-day programs. If you don't want to wait for the next video, if you're happy with the videos, that's great. Then just hit the subscribe button down below and the notification button next to it. And that way it'll alert you to the next video I put out, so you don't miss anything. And I'm also on Facebook. You can find me there, Colleen Fair, or Teentastic Families on Facebook. And you can get a hold of me there and see the posts I post there. So happy to help. And that's it for this session.